Okay, so this part of the video I probably won't be talking as much because I have to wear this stupid mask and there's a lot of music in here. I want to demonstrate some movements and then head outside and talk about it. So first off, I'm going to start out with, on that list I had this the strict pull-up. Well, for this I'm going to start out, we all know what that is. I'm going to start out on this one, in fact, with my dumbbell bent over row. So yeah, here we go. Nice flat back. So that's our dumbbell bent over row. That can be done with barbells, it can be done with cheater bars, it can be done with several different things. The next thing that was interesting on there is the stiff leg deadlift. So I'm gonna grab a barbell and show a little bit about that. So one key point with a stiff leg deadlift that's different than a regular deadlift is you don't want to bend your knees as much. So we're really keeping that nice flat back and keeping our legs with the minimal bend in the knee to really isolate the muscle flexion and muscle activation in the posterior chain, your glutes, your calves, your back, all the way to your shoulders. So a common misconception you'll see is when people bend their knees a lot during a deadlift. It's actually incorrect. You want to just keep minimal bend in the knee, even with a regular deadlift, or else it really just becomes a squat. So anyway, here we go. Okay, here, nice flat. So even that was a little too much bend in the knee. I want to get less. So a lot of times you'll see programs that are like, you know, back and biceps one day and all legs one day and core the next day and cardio the next day. Well, my trainer's been doing this for about 30 years and he puts in a lot of mixed movements. You see, like on today's workout we had pull-ups, these bent over rows, stiff leg deadlifts, and then even calf raises. Well, what these all have in common is they're working that back, that posterior chain. So a lot of people see that and they're like, oh, you're mixing leg day with back day. Like, no, we're really just hitting the whole body's back, posterior chain, and support system. So anyway, I'm gonna put these weights outside. I'll go outside and finish this up. So to wrap up, there are a ton of different benefits to exercising. You know, I could have talked about fishing, I could have talked about video games, or even Dungeons and Dragons. You know, the possibilities of recreation are, you know, the sky's the limit. But so what I have always had such a big connection with training is, you know, I played football when I was little. I was in the military and the fire service, and well, I've just always had a passion for it, though, not just because I want to look good and I want to get big or anything. Like, getting big is not easy. Like, if I were trying to get big, if getting big was easy, I'd be a freaking bodybuilder. I'd be a model. I wouldn't be going to school for, you know, no. So that's a lot of misconceptions. People are like, oh, I'm going to get big and puffy and look ridiculous. No. Unless you're taking steroids and overtraining and doing all kinds of hard things on your body, you're really not going to see any results like that. But anyway, so I get a huge benefit mentally and emotionally and spiritually from lifting. I could be having just a shitty day, stressed out, overwhelmed, and I make time, call it an hour, maybe an hour and a half tops, to come over here, kind of roll out my muscles, put everything else aside, and be able to focus on something external that has nothing to do with anything else that's going on in life or in my brain or at school or in the day. And it allows for it facilitates a flow state when you really get into it, a part where your brain is just doing in synchronization with your body, and your mind and your spirit is all working at one. In fact, the Live Fit training is a gym that I trained at for a while, and it was originally FTF, the program, the fitness program that I follow, and Live Fit bought it. Actually, one of the trainers, we're all really good friends, one of the trainers bought it because the owner was kind of just over being a business owner at the time. Anyway, So we had, they taught me to be a trainer, and we had something that we called, our, we had a different way, a couple ways of thinking about it, but what it ultimately was mental wellness, spiritual wellness, physical wellness, and emotional wellness. And how we utilized fitness to bring that into people's lives. And we would share that with our clients, talk about it with them, and it was something that we lived and really believed in and still do. And so it made it easy to really talk about it and bring that to the reality and the every waking moment of a person's life, instead of just 9 to 5, go home to the kids, go to bed, and do it again the next day. It gave them even just an hour to themselves, and to ourselves, to myself. And that's a big reason I still do it to this day. I don't have clients. I don't do this for anybody else right now. Like, this is at my core. I'm doing it for myself because, like, I can go fishing and there are so many benefits to that. But to branch out on that a little bit better is the physical benefits are obvious. It lowers your cardiopulmonary rate and increases your cardio health, and it increases your metabolism, it burns calories. And my form of training, which is hypertrophy, it's just a fancy word for muscle building and mass gaining, is specifically the most effective for burning calories. A lot of people think, cardio. No, it's hypertrophy. That's where you're really going to see the most results in burning those calories, getting that fit, in shape look to your body, right? So the physical benefits are obvious, but mentally as well, it reduces cortisol levels. It increases dopamine and serotonin levels in your brain as well. So even while I'm working out, even after I'm working out, it has lasting effects. And I have that sense of accomplishment, like I got it done today. I did it. I got it done today amongst all the craziness of my day. Now, sometimes the opposite is the case. Sometimes I need a rest day. Sometimes I'm just burned out. So actually not going to the gym and resting my body and resting my mind is actually allowing my brain and my body and my nervous system actually to regenerate and recuperate where it's needed. And it's tough because you could overtrain yourself and end up hurting your body. I never really run into that, only training 3 or 4 times a day, but still. Anyway, I could go on and on about the benefits of working out. In fact, there was one more thing I wanted to talk about, and that's a really neat social aspect of working out as well. A lot of people work out by themselves, and that's great. And I do that now because I'm not in the old gym setting that I used to be in. But at my old gym back home that I used to actually be a trainer at, the social aspect was so cool. People, we had single moms, college kids, so-and-so who had a couple hours off after work in the afternoon, anybody and everybody. We had such a big mix of people, and we'd get them working out together. It was so cool to have these different people have this in common and be able to share that. And I think for some people it really helped them get out of their shell and a little bit, and it kind of boosted their confidence, and that was really neat to see as well. So anyway, in conclusion, work out. It's good for you. It's fun. Listen to music. Tune everything else out. Have a great day, Paul.